Nancy Pelosi. She had a great 2021. In fact, in the start of 2022, two of the call options she purchased at the end of 2020 are up over 100%. So how is Pelosi using options? Should you be using options like that? And what strategy has made her over 100% in some of her holdings from 2020? Today, we dig a little bit deeper in Pelosi and the options. But before we go into today's topic, if you could like the video and let me know down in the comment section what you want to learn specifically from this video. All right, let's get to it. Quick disclaimer. This video is not made to take any kind of political stance in any political party or politician. I just want to be able to help everyone who watching this video who wants to learn how certain politicians like Nancy Pelosi and other investors use their options or use their strategy, and how potentially we can get this information, how we can use this information to make informed and educated decisions for our own investments. So first, how does she use options? Well, Nancy Pelosi has two primary option strategies. Both revolve around a call option. The first common strategy she uses is called a covered call. Now what a covered call is selling a call and having the assets of the call already in your portfolio, thus being covered. Now what this looks like is, let's say you have 1,000 Amazon shares. Yes, that's over $3 million, but let's say you have 1,000 Amazon shares. You can sell a call option on those 1,000 Amazon shares. You can sell 10 of them, and you can sell them for a premium. And what that does is it's called price protection. It locks in your cost basis on the entry point of your stock. Now let's say you buy in and you can sell calls and lower your cost basis by 10%. So you pretty much picked up all those Amazon shares at a discount. Now if the stock goes up and they get called away, you get to keep the premium and you get that price appreciation. Let's take what she actually did. She employs this strategy as well. In January 2020, she sold between $500,000 and $1 million worth of Amazon call options. Then on the same day, she purchased between $1 to $5 million in Amazon stock. So she employed this strategy right here. The next strategy that is employed has been more used recently, and especially since we've got Wall Street Bets and the Reddit crowd buying calls on GameStop, this strategy is pretty much the same thing. In this strategy, she just buys long calls, and long calls have the ability to have a 2x, 3x, 10x times return because of the fact you have leverage. One option can control as much as 100 stocks, but can be far less inexpensive. The one downside, which is a huge downside, is that options have a definite lifespan. What that means is if the call option you own expires tomorrow, but it's worthless tomorrow, you lost the entire cost of that option to you. So if you bought a call option for, let's say, for the sake of simpleness, $100, and in 1 week it expires worthless, you lost all of that $100. In contrast, if you were to invest that $100 into the stock that you were buying the call option on, and the stock went down 50%, you'd still have $50. With the call option, most likely, if the stock went down by 50%, you would have nothing. So how is she using calls, and how can she be so successful? Well, let's just go back and look to see what was one of the most successful transactions she's had and how much gain she got by using options instead of using stock. So let's take a look at one of the times where she had a great return on her Microsoft call option positions. So this takes place between February 20, 2020 and March 19, 2021, where she purchased 150 Microsoft $130 calls. Now the $130 calls were purchased at about $60.80. During that time, the stock was trading at about $181.46. When she executed the call options, the stock was trading at $228.96. So if you were to take the initial cost of the call option, the strike price of $130, and subtract that from the value of the stock on the day it was exercised, you'd find that she got a 62.76% return on that investment. Now the equivalent, if she were to buy the stock instead, she would have had a 26.17% return. So as you can see, she doubled her return by using the call options. I'm no expert in what Nancy Pelosi does, but it seems like she buys a lot of calls in the money, pretty far in the money, deep in the money. If you don't understand what that means, you can go look it up or head over to tastytrade.com and they teach you all you need to know about options. But if you want to learn more about a specific option strategy and how I might employ it, leave a comment and I'll do my best. Awesome, right? Like double and triple her return if she just used the option instead of buying the stock. But it's not all fun and games. If the stock didn't reach at least $193 from that 181 when she bought it, she would have actually lost money. That means if the stock does not go up, you lose money. If you hold the stock and the stock doesn't go up, nothing happens. But in the call option long strategy, you will. In fact, if the call option expires worthless on the date of its expiration, then you have lost 100% of your initial investment. So depending on how much those options cost and your risk tolerance, that could be some hefty price to pay for just some options juicing. Now let's look at how she's doing. Let's take a look at her year-end moves from 2020, see how they're doing in 2022, so we can make some kind of a educated guess on how potentially her 2021 stocks will pan out, or at least her picks will pan out. On December 22nd, 2020, she purchased 100 Apple call options with the strike price of $100. These options are set to expire on January 21st, 2022, which is coming up if you're watching this video, the week that it comes out. The initial price of this option was about $39 each, and the stock was trading at $125 at this time. Currently, this option is worth $79.03, while the stock is worth about $177.83. So, drum roll, that's a 102.64% return on the option side and a 42% return on the stock only side. Let's look at the one trade that isn't going her way though. On December 22nd, 2020, Nancy Pelosi purchased 100 Disney call options with the strike price of $100 set to expire on January 21st, 2022. She bought these call options at $73.13 while the stock was trading at about $170. On January 3rd, 2022, the stock is trading at $155.83. So what do you think the call option is worth? Her call options are actually down 23.69%. It's a lot. And the stock is only down 8%. So this is now a 3 times loss. So while you can see the power of options, if you are right, you're really right. But if you're wrong, it can hurt a lot more. Now overall, this portfolio is up still about 72%. So out of these three, having one loser is not so bad, especially if the other two are like over 100% up. So now we know how her track record is going. She's doing pretty good in these call options. So what did she do at the end of last year? And how can we maybe position ourselves to take advantage of maybe the Pelosi picks of 2021? Let's look. So according to the period transaction report here, her last minute picks going into 2022 was on the 17th of December, she purchased 10 Google call options. She also purchased 50 Disney call options. Then on the 20th of December, she purchased 100 call options on Roblox, 130 call options on CRM, which is Salesforce, and 100 call options on the 22nd for MU or Micron. So what can we learn from these transactions? Well, it seems like tech is going to be really strong in her mind, in her investment thesis or strategy. Technology is going to be good. Another thing, it looks like she still has conviction on Disney. The fact that she bought more is pretty much the statement that she doesn't think her initial investment was wrong. She's got the timing wrong, which is something that most investors shouldn't worry about. So tech, communications, that's her long play for 2022. But she also had investments throughout 2021 that aren't yet executed. So let's look at what those are. So other call options that she purchased outside of the ones that I just spoke of are Microsoft, Amazon, Google with an L, Apple, Nvidia, and Work. So what can we do to get some of these nice 2x returns on the regular stock return like she does? Well, first we can learn about options, and learning about options is not as simple as just pressing the buy button on the call option on the Webull platform. It requires a little bit more, actually it requires a lot more, understanding how options are priced, how they move, and how they work. If you're a book person and want to read all about it, here's some recommendations on books you can purchase and read on Amazon. If you prefer the more fun route, you can go watch these wonderful guys on Tasty Trade. Those guys trade options every day. They got a daily show where they go over all the trades that they make, why they make them, and they have an awesome learning course that you can take absolutely free, where you can learn all the different types of option strategies. For me, it's the same old, unfortunately. Invest with purpose, put money into my Roth IRA, invest in those low-cost index funds. I personally love to trade options as a stock replacement or as a risk parity, which is what I do when I want to kind of boost my returns, which are quite good for 2021. Stay tuned for that video. Anyway, if you want to YOLO on the Pelosi picks or just go on your merry way and avoid all that and do what you want to do, either way, check my link if you haven't already signed up for Webull for 2 free stocks. My BlockFi link, you can go ahead and check that out for up to $250 of Bitcoin, and I'll see you all in the next video.